Hi everyone, welcome back to our Python for Data Analysis course. Today we will explore two important Python data types or structures that are lists and tuples. By the end of this video, you will understand how to use and differentiate between them. So let's get started. Here is what we will learn today. What lists and tuples are, their key differences, how to create them, and some practical examples and usages. What are lists and tuples? Let's see. Lists and tuples are both used to store collection of items. The main difference is that lists are mutable, meaning you can change their contents, while tuples are immutable, meaning their contents cannot be changed after creation. Creating these data types is simple. A list is defined using square bracket. Here we can see we have created my list 1, 2, 3, 4, and we can print this list also by using simple print statement. The my list is here a variable. In tuples example, we can see that we have created a variable my tuple and stored the value 1, 2, 3, 4 using simple parenthesis. We can also print my tuple as we print other variables. Here is a comparison table to understand the key differences between lists and tuple. Lists are mutable, meaning you can add, remove, or change elements, whereas tuples are immutable. Lists use square bracket, while tuples use parentheses. Lists are slower in operations compared to tuples, which are faster than lists. We use lists when the data is likely to change and tuples for storing fixed data. Here are some examples of list and tuples. We will see about it later in our demo section. Now, let's see how to create and use lists and tuples in our Python program through some hands-on examples. Now, let's start by creating a list and printing it to see that we have created a correct list or not. Now our output is here and we have got no error, and also check the type of the list by using simple type function, and when we execute this we get the output list, which means the type of my list is list. Now let's see a very important topic, indexing in list. So here we have created my list. It stores 10, 20 and 30. Okay. So here we can see that this is the zero index number and this is 1 and this is 2. So in the list the index number always start with 0. Okay, then 1, 2. Here this is positive indexing. Okay, in negative indexing the index start from last. Here -1, this is -2 and this is -3. Now let's see few example of how list indexing work. Here when we print my list, uh, this 0, we can see that we get the output 10. And when we print my list 1, we get the output 20. But when we print my list 3, we will get an error. Okay, index error, because uh, the index 3 does not exist here. Here 0, 1, 2. Now let's see how we can do slicing in list. Okay, let's create a new list. So when we use lists and print here 1, 2, 4. Okay, let's see what happens. Here we get 34, 54 and 56, which means the index values 1, 2 and 3. So we got index value 1, 2 and 3 when we used 1 is to 4. This means last number is not included here. Okay, 4 index is not included. Similarly, when we see that list 2 is to 5, we will get 54, 56, and 52. Means the second index number, the third index number, and fourth index number. Means the 5 is not included here. Okay. So we have some more method in slicing also. Let's see this. When we print this list, we will get each and every element. So this list means list of 0 to length of list minus 1. Okay. As we know that lists are mutable, so we can use some methods also to manipulate lists and do our basic tasks. So let's see some of them. So let's assign some value to L1 list. Okay. Now we can see we have list L1 here. Now let's use append method. Okay. What append do? Append add the value which we are giving here to the end of the list. Okay. So let's append 100 here. Now the list L1 is updated. So we print L1 and see what happened. Here we can see that the value 100 is added here. Okay. Now let's add some more value here. What will we get? We can get it or not correctly. So when we add some more elements to it, and now when we execute it, we get an error because list append takes exactly one argument. Okay. So here only one argument we can give. But what if we use this? We give a list, new list, because it's one argument only. Now let's see. Yes, we get no error. And now when we print L, we will get a list in the list. Okay. Here you can see various methods are shown here: remove, pop, append, clear, copy, count, extend, index, insert, reverse, sort. So these are the most used methods in list. And now let's use remove method. Okay, L1 remove. Let's remove the same list which we added just now and see what happens. When we execute this code, we get no error. So now let's print L1 and see what happens. Here we can see that the list we added here 145 and 67 is removed from the list. So to here the remove method only uh, can be used with elements. Okay, we can't use index number here. Okay, so if we want to remove 3, we have to write here L1 dot remove. Okay, and we have to give the element 3 here. Okay, so here when we print L1, we can see that 3 is removed from here. Okay, it was the list was starting from 3, now it's start from 5. Let's move on to sort. Okay, L1, what happens when we sort this out? Okay, when we do this, now let's see L1. Here you can see that the L1 is sorted out. So here we can see that the sort method has worked here and it has changed our list completely. Okay. Can we do the sorting in a descending order? So the answer is yes. We can use reverse is equal to true method. Here when we give this, now we will see that when we print the L1, we will get the numbers arranged in descending order. Okay, 100, 9, 88. Now let's see what is index method. Okay, so L1 dot index, and if we provide an element from the list here, we can see that it will give us the index of the 100, element 100. Here 100 is on the 0 index, so we get 0. Now let's see what count method do. So when we do l1.count and use this to count 4, and let's see what happens here. Here in our list we can see that 4 appears 3 times. So the count method actually counts the number of times the element which we have given here appears. Okay, so 4 appears 3 times here. So let's check with some other number also. Here if we do 100, let's see what happens. Yes, 100 appears only one time, so we have 1 here. Now let's see what we can do to copy a list. Okay, now let's make a list L2 and we want to copy the L1 to it. So we can use L1 dot copy. Okay, so the L2 when we print, we get the copy of L1. Now let's move on to tuple and create a tuple. As we know, tuples are immutable, means we can't change tuples. So we have executed it, and now let's check the type of tuple. Here when we execute it, we see tuple. Okay, tuple. So now what happens when we do this? Okay, we just take one element and make a tuple, and now let's print the type of this tuple. We will see int. Okay, so Python actually confuses here. It doesn't recognize that this 3 is a tuple. So to make it a tuple, we actually have to put a comma here. Now when we execute this tuple and see the type of this tuple, we will get a tuple here. Okay, let's have our tuple back. Now let's do some slicing in tuple and see what happens here. Can we do it? So this is 478. We get the slicing. And what if we do this? Here also we can get the elements by calling the index number of it. Here we already know that tuples cannot be mutated or can be changed. So the method which we used in list will not work. So let's see one of them, like tuple append. This will get us an error. Okay, attribute error, because tuple object has no attribute append. Okay, let's create another variable tup1 and see that does tuple have copy attribute, and no, the tuple doesn't have copy attribute also. We can copy tuple like this. Okay, now when we print tup1, we will get the values here, and we know we cannot change our tuple, so we cannot do this tup1. We cannot change our elements in tuple. When we do this, we will get an error. So here we are clear with list and tuples. So that's how we work with lists and tuples in Python. These data structures are incredibly versatile and fundamental for any Python programmer. In the next video, we will explore dictionaries and sets. Like this video, subscribe to this channel and share with anyone who is interested in learning Python. Thank you and Jai Hind.